Hi everybody, welcome back. So this week we are talking about fair use and copyright. I think that the thing that probably surprised me the most about what would break a copyright law was not being able to tape something in anticipation of needing the news story. And I think that's kind of just a crazy random rule. You would think that if it would be acceptable to tape a newscast if you wanted the news for the night to show the next day, that it would be acceptable to tape the newscast every day because you might want the news story. But that's not what Congress said, and that is not how the copyright laws work. So that's a really interesting little tidbit because I never would have thought of that in a million years. What examples have I experienced where educators have broken copyright laws? I think the biggest one is just at the copy machine. And a lot of this falls on districts as well as teachers, as money's just tight. And so, we don't want to pay for workbooks. Or a district has discontinued a workbook. So we're no longer using that curriculum. And so the way that you get around that is you just make another copy of the curriculum that you were using last year that you no longer have access to. And that way you still have access to those great resources, but since the district's no longer paying for them, or you are no longer able to get those for whatever reason, you still have them. So I think probably the biggest place where you have copyright issues is definitely at the copy machine. In terms of technology, I think probably you have just the most blatant would be, let's sit down and we're going to have a reward party and we're going to watch a movie. And whether you're putting on, Care Bears, or you're having a Polar Express for Christmas, or, you want to watch something, that's more educational, if you don't have the proper the proper permission, then you're in violation of the copyright law. And I think everyone knows that. We've all seen the FBI warning, but once again, that's just something that is just very commonly overlooked. Is it a big deal? I think it depends on who you ask. Obviously, yes, it is. It's a federal crime. Teachers are supposed to be setting good examples, and when we are committing federal crimes in the classroom on a daily basis, that's a really big deal. I think that we like to minimize it because we aren't going to get caught, and we don't think it's going to affect us. But I think that when we do minimize it as educators, it's the same thing as telling our students, oh, well, you can go ahead and steal these little things because no one's going to catch you, and it's okay to do something that's wrong as long as you don't get caught. And that's just not true. You're stealing intellectual property. You're stealing someone's ability to take care of themselves, to take care of their family, to feed their family. You're taking away their profit. So yeah, copyright laws are very important. How did I score on the fair use quiz? This is actually kind of embarrassing because I did not do very well. I took the quiz. I wanted to see what I knew going into it. So I took the quiz to begin with before I read anything, and that was really bad. It's very embarrassing. And then I read everything, and I went and I took the quiz again. And even after reading everything, there were still a couple of those where I'm just like, okay, I really don't know. I'm going to have to go back and reread this and try to figure it out because things do get really crazy. Okay, so they have to pay to get in, but this is for an educational reason, but this was, and the copyright laws do get very confusing. And so I understand why there are a lot of misconceptions and why people are afraid of them. But yeah, by the end I did okay. Thank you very much for listening, and have a great week, and I will talk to you guys later.